Welcome to Let's Play World of Warcraft. This is the heroic Azjol Nerub run, and this is your host Particle Man. And just wanted to post that time at the very beginning of the video because we're pretty proud of this one. We were trying to beat 11 minutes so we could make this all one video, and we did way better than our expectations. But this is a tutorial, so I want you to notice here the skull is a skirmisher, and it's the most important person to kill first, because at about 50% it's just going to leave the tank and run to the next highest person up on DPS. At least that's what I think it does. Anyway, I know they're really dangerous, so definitely want to always kill those first. There's one here in the left group that we're pulling that's marked with the skull, and there's also one in the middle group, so you want to make sure that you mark both of those either prior to starting this little event or just as you go, but just make sure they go down first. You can also get web wrapped here. If you're a DPS, you should probably pay attention so that you can help break a healer or a tank out of the web wrap, because they're pretty much defenseless. You don't have to pull like we did here, the second group. Sometimes it's not good, because if you don't pull them right away, then sometimes that third group will come instead of the middle one. And so if you throw your shield, grab the middle group, all of a sudden you'll get the third group too. And fighting 6 of these guys at once is pretty difficult. There's actually an achievement for fighting them all at once, but I would highly recommend not doing that. It's a pretty difficult one to get if you're just wanting to do a normal run here. So these guys don't do anything big except they have like an AoE poison that kind of sucks. So if you want to get the big guys down first, that's probably the best way to handle this part right here. And then you can go ahead and pull the boss if you're ready. We just did it fast to try to get a quicker run in, but so this boss doesn't really do anything. He just kind of is tank and spank. He does a mind flay like you see right there, but it's not that bad. His one ability he does use is he summons all these little mini versions of himself that are coming out right here, and they all have very, very few hit points. So I mean, just have your mage AoE one time or whoever, and you'll be fine. Or just let them all go to the tank. So this next little part, we kind of do a little trick, I guess. You can do it with a hunter, using feign death, a mage, or any class that has something that they can throw down here that's active. I think our shaman used something called like Crashin' Thrashin' Racer. I'm not sure where you get them, but he just took it and threw it over the balcony you'll see in the top middle. You see that thing fall down, and it kind of starts the event, but then since everyone's dead, no one else is down there, the event just vanishes. So then you can just hop down and go straight to where the second boss is, which is at the bottom of the spider web right before you drop down. If you're going to do it this way, I highly recommend that you have a really good group with good DPS, because you gotta kill them pretty quick, and if you don't, you're going to get too many ads, and they're gonna overwhelm you during the boss fight. I mean, after the boss fight, they're going to no matter what, but if they come during, then you're pretty much screwed. So now you can just tank him right here, and we had heroism, so that really helped too. But we were able to burn him down, I think, before the first ad even got down here. If you want to do it this way, but you don't have the DPS, just tank him at the entrance to this chamber, and the tank can just kind of pick up the ads in his consecrate. And if not, you can just fight down here. This boss doesn't really do too much. He does have a green gas cloud you can see he throws down. If that's down, you should really get out of it. I sat there and took it the whole time, I guess, without realizing it. But you should get out of that. That's his biggest move he does. Then you can just hop down. If there was any ads behind you, just have your whole group jump down, and nothing will follow you down here. So that's kind of a way to bypass any ads that were going to come down here. Now, right before the last boss fight, there's going to be two, I don't know what they're called, watchers or something. They have a really bad debuff that they might put on you, and it does a ton of damage every second. It might be like 3,500 damage a second. If you get that, you can actually cleanse it off. So just kind of be mindful of that if someone starts to drop. That's probably what's on them. So if you have if you have a spell that will remove that, you should probably go ahead and do it. But these guys, they don't hit too hard, but they just have that shadow damage thing they put out, so that can be kind of bad. Other than that, they're not too difficult, but it is easy to wipe on them because they are Pretty difficult guys as far as the damage output. As far as their melee damage, they don't do hardly anything. I think I dodged like 6 in a row when I ran it earlier today. Then when you get down here, make sure all your group members are around this circle here, because he does web off the entrance and your guys can get stuck outside. Now this, well, you know what, he didn't do this whole video, but he has an ability called Pound. If you see that in your tank, I do want to let you know that if you run straight through him to his backside while he's casting it, you can actually dodge it. A lot of people are like, no, you don't want to do that because you'll sacrifice your party members. But that's not true. If everybody's on the backside of him or side of him, then no one will take the damage. And what it does is it stuns you for like 5 seconds, and he takes a huge hit on you. And it can do like 20,000 damage in one hit. So anybody besides a tank is going to kill, and his next hit can kill a tank. So just kind of be aware of that. Now these guys, when they run down, you should really avoid those spikes coming out of the floor. I actually get hit twice with them in this video, which is pretty poor. Usually you can dodge them. I mean, you have about 3 or 4 seconds to move. He casts a locust swarm. Doesn't really do a lot. He just sends out a bunch of little guys. Well, for the healer, it might be an issue if you have like a priest or a druid that can't really reduce incoming damage that much. Pally can just bubble through it. I always try to lay down a consecrate in the middle right after he digs under, because those 2 little guys always come out and it can kind of help get aggro on you. And then he'll send down 2 elites the first time. The second time he'll send down 4. But I think this is just the first set. And those little guys, just have your DPS, need to take those out. Okay, here's the second group. They have poison. Now this poison can be really bad, because if you kind of have slow DPS, they'll sit there and just keep cranking out that poison, and it'll stack 2 or 3 times on each person, and it probably does about 3,000 a second once you have 2 stacks of it. So unless you have someone that can cleanse them, you really want to try and silence them or stun them or just kill them super fast so they can't get a lot of cast off, because that can take you out really quick. Really got lucky he didn't even get a pound off this entire fight, because that's his most devastating ability if anybody actually gets hit by it. You can see I'm throwing that consecrate down the center, so these little ads that come in will maybe come to me first. So you got 2 more regular guys. These guys don't have the poison, so they're just pretty much just burn them down. And then you got this flying darter that flies in, and he's just kind of annoying. He'll kind of go after the healer and stuff and kind of mess him up. And then here comes the second group again of the poison guys. If you're a pally, as soon as they both get down there, use Holy Wrath, stun them, and then use your other stun on the second one. I mean, you can keep them from probably casting any poisons. It looks like we're lagging a little bit here. I'm not sure why. I hope this doesn't come through like this. And then you have the last. The boss always digs down 3 times. Now about 20% left. He just you can burn him down. And there you have it. And that's Heroic AN. Pretty easy place if you know what you're doing. And thanks for watching.